Hi guys, it's me, Roja. Welcome back. This is the fourth week, the final week of the series, Achieving the Impossible, and today we're going to talk about perseverance. So the first thing I want to address about perseverance is motivation. There is no such thing. What I mean to say is you don't always wake up ready to hit the gym or ready to write 15 pages or wanting to go and work extra hard to get that promotion, whatnot. You don't always wake up every single day of your life wanting to achieve the extraordinary thing and start working towards it. Of course, we all want to get there. We all want to make it. We all want to succeed in life. But we don't always want to put in the work. So I've heard a few people in the past say to me, oh, maybe if I had this in my life or that person in my life or this particular thing came to pass in my life, then I'd be motivated to do something more. The thing is, nothing will motivate you to start working. You have to do it despite the lack of motivation. You have to get up on a regular day. In order to get your paycheck, you have to go to work, right? So you get up and you decide, I'm going to go to work. Whether you like to go to work or not, you're going to do it because there are bills to pay, perhaps a mortgage or rent. You have to pay for your car, your insurance. You have to do groceries. You have to eat, right? To survive. You get up and go to work. You don't always go motivated to go, but you do it because you know you have to in order to maintain your lifestyle. Why don't we have that same method towards our dreams? It wasn't always motivating for me to get up and write my book, or I keep saying get up, but just when I allot time to writing, I don't always feel like writing, right? When I want to work out and stay fit, I don't always feel like running. I try and do it despite the lack of motivation. And once I start doing it on a regular, and I see the results and I see what it's doing, I see the book is coming to an end and I've written 10 chapters or 20 chapters already, and I've lost a certain number of pounds or have defined a certain amount of muscle on my body, then the motivation starts to grow on its own. But if we wait for motivation in life, we're probably not going to step forward and do anything ever, because it doesn't just happen. We start to get motivated when we start to see results. So what we need to do is to stop looking for motivation, stop looking for that excitement, and start to act despite the lack of enthusiasm, despite our circumstances, despite our lack of energy. We have to start to make working towards your goals and your dreams and perseverance a thing of discipline rather than a thing of motivation. The second thing I want to talk to you about today is when to start. The answer, now. Now is really all you have. There have been many years in my life when I say, I'm going to go work out today, I'm going to get fit, especially after I had my son. I didn't really want to work out as much anymore. And I would tell myself, okay, you know what, maybe not today, I'll rest today and I'll do it tomorrow. Or when I was editing my book, and I hate editing, but it's part of the process. If you want a really good book, you have to edit. You have to cut some stuff, you have to add some stuff, and that's another segment for another day, but you have to do the work. And I was not always motivated or wanted to start the editing process. I would put it off until tomorrow. The truth is, tomorrow is a lie. It's another lie, just like motivation. The more you say tomorrow, the more you will wait for another tomorrow, right? So instead of waiting, start now. Because really, the allotted time that you do have that is definite, that you know for sure you have it, is the 24 hours that you have right before you. Maybe not even 24. Sunrise to sunset. The amount of time that you have between these two is what you really have to do what you want to do to get to where you want to go. So start now. A lot of people tend to have anxiety towards starting. I remember in college, I used to have a hard time getting started on writing essays. It's not that I found writing the essay hard. It's not that I found the research part of it hard. It was just getting started. There was this form of procrastination that I always did, which was put it off, put it off, put it off. And for some reason, the longer I put it off, the more anxiety I felt about starting it. So the best thing to do is to just take it out, put a pen to the paper, and start. Once I start, everything sort of just flows. Everything falls into place. The words come together. Even if it's absolutely garbage at first, when you read it over, you fix what's wrong, etc. Same with working out. As soon as you start, even if it's one lap walking really slowly around a trunk, you're doing something. Versus when you say tomorrow, you're not doing nothing today, right? So start now. Number 3, use what you have. This particular series, I wanted to do it from about 9 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. I had a vision to record videos and post them on YouTube that encourage other people and speak my truths for about 8 or 9 years. At every given time, I came up with at least one excuse where I decided that I wasn't going to do it yet. Now's not the time. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the space. I don't have the camera. I don't have the people. When I did have people who wanted to do this with me, do the series and vlogs with me, we had conflicting schedules. Someone had time, another didn't. We didn't have a place that was big enough for all of us. And then finally I came to a place where I realized if I'm really going to do what I want to do and go forward with the vision and a dream that I have, I'm going to have to step up and use what I have to do it. So use your resources, what you have around you, the people you have around you, things you have around you. Don't depend on the people you have around you to go after what you need, but use whatever it is. If you don't have the means to pay for a monthly gym pass and you're trying to work out and be a sprinter, use the community track. Use the track that's open from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. for free. There are many out there. There are community gyms that are open. If you want to study but you don't have the computer and internet and all of that, go to the library. Use what you have to get where you need to go. And God will provide the rest along the way. Right? Just Thomas Edison said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Sometimes we don't do what we need to do because it doesn't look like the thing that we imagined at the end. But you need to put in the work beforehand in order to get to that end state, right? And you don't just achieve something with the blink of an eye, and you don't just, an actor doesn't usually get fame and an incredible part by going to the first audition. Okay, this is the part I want. I'm telling you this. I'm going to audition for it. You're going to give it to me. I'm done. No, many actors and actresses have gone through hundreds and hundreds of rejections and auditions before they landed their title role, their debut role that put them on the map. So you have to be willing to do what you can now with whatever it is that you have now if you want to actually be able to attain the resources to continue to do what you need to do to get where you want to go. It's a lot of words, but you get the drift. Number 4, last but not least, focus on your own gifting and dreams, not what everyone else has. I used to sing in worship a very long time ago, and during that time, I remember walking into Long and McQuaid, and in the back room of that store, I saw this beautiful, beautiful choral acoustic guitar, and I decided that I was no longer just going to sing, but I was going to buy that guitar and learn how to play it. Maybe it was about 7 years ago. I've had that guitar for that long, right? 7 years now. And I might know how to play maybe 4 notes and not at a 10 out of 10 level, more like a 3 out of 10 level. In her book, Confident Woman, Joyce Meyer tells you, use what you're actually good at and make yourself better at it. Don't go chasing after what you're a 2 or a 3 at, and of course I'm paraphrasing, she didn't say it exactly like this, but don't try to be what everybody else is trying to be or everybody else already is. Use your own gifting, right? If you know that you're really good at something, you're a 9 out of 10 at something, you're a 7 out of 10 at something, that you know that if you work on it, you're going to probably be a 10 or even exceed that, then use that and go after that. You have to have a clear, defining line between who is you and who is not you, what is your gifting and what is everybody else's gifting. You have to remember that not everybody was born with the same gifting. Not everybody was meant to be Christina Aguilera or, you know, Joyce Meyer or Joel Austin. Not everybody is meant to be Ronaldo. I'm just throwing names that I really like, people that I really like out there, but I'm saying not everybody is meant to be somebody else. That's, you know, each person is individual in their own way, and we all have giftings. We all have talents. We all have different interests and dreams. How you know that you're going after the right thing is when you know that your giftings and your talents add up to whatever it is that you're desiring. If your desires are completely, like suddenly all of a sudden you decide, I want to be an astronaut, but you have no idea how anything in astronomy works, and you have a bachelor's degree in English literature, I don't know how well that's going to work out for you. I'm being honest. So just know where these dreams are coming from and whether they align with your giftings and your talents, and whether it's going to take you from an 8 to a 10 or a 2 to a maybe 5, and then decide from there whether or not to pursue it. Knowing when to quit something that isn't working for you is also really important in this area. If you thought that you wanted to go in that path, so long story short, that guitar, I gave it away because I realized it's going to sit for another 7 years in my house and not get touched, and I'm not going to learn it. And even if I do, I'm probably not going to be the greatest guitarist. I'm probably going to be an average about 5, maybe if I'm lucky. And that's not going to do anybody any help. Nobody wants to hear a guitarist who plays at a 5 out of 10. Am I right? I don't want to hear a guitarist who plays at a 5 out of 10. So, lesson learned. Stop chasing what everybody else is and start chasing who you are. Go after your dreams. Go after your calling. Go after your specific giftings and talents. I think I said specific. But, specific. That's what I meant to say. So go after what is really you. That's perseverance for you. Don't wait for motivation. Don't put it off until tomorrow. Start with what you have. Use what you have and use your resources. And make sure you're using your giftings and your dreams and desires and not somebody else's. I will see you again soon with a brand new series. I hope this helps.